Right, Abusia News, Ghana TV, which is so a friend and Niger TV GH, and that's also for Sefran Catrasia. Yet, and some are Etrago at Ebro, Nina said, Abrantia Aqua, a back Ghana, a Jens and tradesman more, and I say, journalism, yes, a Brantia Paul, Adom Ochre, where a good evening Ghana host our Metro TV, and all this be Ababa Tudra, and watch the NPP for an audio futu and Adrian check a cradeba, or catch NPP for said. Ebaya amunya kasa bebrebe no, they should stop talking. Na nya saa, enema bebre ekoso no, John Dramani Mahama mambo no, ewusa nema bia hyase eyiniti, chese bia na enkoye kura saa de, nanso so no, omo jotto bibia down, said ebeya omo nsam no enkokoye tententen. Yebekọ ne akotie nsam a Abrante Paul adom ochire, wode atodwa yeba na afeye so yabesore so.
President John Dramani Mahama was sworn into office on 7 January 2025. Having won a big election, the election surprised many people, but the NDC faithful were expecting to win. The NPP faithful were surprised, not by the defeat, but by the size of the defeat. So since then, there's been a lot of constellation in the NDC. Immediate in the NPP, I have to say. Immediately the elections were over. Some people even started talking about, oh, Dr. Baumia should not run again. He lost so heavily. He didn't win votes here. He didn't win votes there. Some say that Napo was the problem. Why did he bring him? The Ashantis didn't vote. The general thought shows that the voter turnout was low and that majority of MPP supporters in their strongholds in Eastern and Ashanti did not vote. People believe that the whole conversation is about people not coming to vote because of economic crisis and the MPP faithful were not happy. A lot of things are going on. What we are coming to tell you here today is for my friends and dear brothers and sisters in the MPP. Government change and governments come back. It happens. In 2016, the NDC experienced the heaviest, at the time, the heaviest defeat in the Fourth Republican history in Ghana in 2016, December. The new government was formed in 2017. Only 4 years later, after what Akufo-Addo thought he had performed creditably, and many people can attest to that, 4 years later, the entire victory of the NPP in Parliament was whittled away until Parliament became 137, just 4 years. In 1996, when the second Parliament started in January 1997, the NDC had almost a two-thirds majority in the second Parliament, almost that, the second Parliament. Within just a matter of 4 years, it was whittled away. The NPP became the majority. So that happens. In 2004, the NPP had a lead in Parliament of nearly 40, of 100 and, it wasn't 257 at the time, 200 and some, 237 seats. They had about a lead of about 40. 4 years later, it was completely whittled away. So things can change in politics, but the NDC's victory is big. NPP must stop talking, I think. It's my own small advice. NPP must stop talking and gather the information. So Mr. Callistus Mahama issues a statement and then we see NPP marking under it, correcting it. We don't need all that. It's time for NPP to sort of put themselves together. They are a great force. They have great people. Look at what is happening in Parliament in the Appointments Committee. Look at Patricia Piaget, Alexander Fenyo-Markin, lawyer Eje Bafo. They are showing signs of their capability and their quality. So that's good. They can keep it at that. This issue of criticizing everything that NDC does at this time is not necessary. NPP must wait till May, June. Wait. But you have to observe keenly and gather everything. You can make some comments or get media people to make some comments. Asiedun Ketia said this is coming back to bite him. He said his son has an appointment. He said Akufo-Addo was doing nepotism. Those things you can raise. But being critical of almost everything, Callistus writes a letter and then we are circling it. No, we don't need to do that as MPP. Put the information together so that when you come in May, you can say that in January this happened. In February this happened. In March, this happened. In April, this happened. And then you can draw a conclusion as to what you want to say about the NDC government. And you have to give the NDC government time to settle. And every government deserves time to settle. And it is also going to show a bit of weakness in the NPP if every little thing is being bitten at this time. It's not important. And also there are people who are campaigning for this and that in NPP. That's all okay, but it has to be sort of under wraps if the advice will be taken. Now, the biting at everything would look like nitpicking. Nobody needs that. Just hold it down. Calm down. and then observe. I'm sure some mistakes have already started. I'm sure there may be some mistakes made. There would also be some good things the NDC will do. So let's hold it down and keep the record. The most important thing now is to keep the record. This is what they did. On this days, this happened. On this days, that happened. Compare it to 4 years ago. Compare it to 8 years ago. This happened, that happened. Keep the record. Let the government fully settle. Now, if you give them up to June, May, June, July, by that time, many appointments would have been settled. And those who don't get appointments will know that they didn't get appointments. Those who got appointments will know that they didn't get they got appointments. You can begin to, build on that situation. Build on that situation. And then you can do your opposition work responsibly. So the message on this our podcast today from Good Evening Ghana is that New Patriotic Party, you are a great party. The Elephant Party, you are a great party. You've done so much for Ghana. Your leaders have been distinguished. Don't worry. Time will write history about what happened. For now, there is a new government in Ghana led by John Dramani Mahama, President of Ghana. National Democratic Congress will form the government. They've started forming the government already. Give them time, but record everything that happens. On the day that the time has run out, you come and then you lay it out. Should I add more? Need I say more? I don't have much to say. This is our Good Evening Ghana podcast.
Abushanti waiting someone Abrante Paul Adumochiri. Mamen Sanfenka was Abrante Paul Adumochiri no. Heyeko for do na say we NPP sympathizer. No ana edin se bia bab tudwa ochire. Na samba ko kan o say do mama memo na wo bunde is early day yet say obi be criticize so to munyai kasa bebrebe no munya ba papa nya adwuma at least omma no kosi bia October hoba bia na say 1 month 6 months bia na 1 year bi kura no a no motumi agada information bia emomo nka se bibi nkoyi amomo nka nanso munyi omu fi asem no mo hwe ne ma enkoyi na ama atumi aboa ma bibia akoso abusua ye de besia na emo mesro se so onya subscribe ya bomo de so subscribe like program na face no chef mankofo ya fa comment bra de nsamo a branti yaka no say na ya twenfa na de aba yakra o